Since last summer, due to the massive success of Shadowbringers and a certain WoW streamer giving the game a go, Final Fantasy XIV has been blowing up in popularity as players continue to join the phenomenal MMO. And one thing you'll notice in the world of Eorzea compared to other MMOs is how good you can make the characters look. Compared to ESO or SWTOR, where almost all of the characters look identical, or games like World of Warcraft, where you get to choose between literal mommy milkers and people who have penises for toes. But enough about my dating life, let's talk about Final Fantasy XIV's characters. Now, unlike other MMOs, in Final Fantasy XIV, you can have a character that looks anything ranging from decent to downright gorgeous. Well, mostly. But in this sea of beauty, let's talk about what Final Fantasy XIV races would be the most dateable. Disclaimer, this video is purely for jokes, so don't take what I say seriously. Also, it's not racist. So before we get into anything else, I am going to be immediately disqualifying both Lalafell and Hrothgar from competing in this competition. Lalafell because I don't need the FBI paying me a visit at my doorstep, and Hrothgar because currently only Hrothgar men are in the game, and I prefer getting the Filet-O-Fish rather than the Sausage McMuffin at McDonald's, if you catch my drift. Oh, and another important aspect I forgot to mention about the Hrothgar, they're literal cats, so I also don't want the SPCA knocking on my door. So that means we're left with both Hewer, Ellison, Miqo'te, Rogadin, Au-Ra, and Viera, so let's get this started. So first off, at the bottom of our list, I'm afraid we're going to have to put Au-Ra at the very bottom. Now, I'm not saying they're bad by any means. They are definitely one of my favorite female races to play as in Final Fantasy XIV. I mean, I love how they can look cute, elegant, and badass at the same time, even if they are a bit on the short side. But why am I placing these sweet, horned, beautiful creatures at the bottom of the list in terms of dateability? Simple. Acts of affection would be considered a safety hazard. Especially with Phase 4 Au-Ra. But on to the next one. So next on the list, we are going to go with Ellison. Now, Ellisons in general are a really cool race, having some of the most interesting lore in the game, some of the best characters, and looking the best in certain gear sets. Mostly. And even if they run like baby drafts, they are still an awesome playable race. And Ellison ladies check a lot of marks for me in the attractive department. Tall, graceful, beautiful, elf ears. What more could you ask for? But the reason why they're so bottom of the list is because... yeah, you see that? That's them over there. Completely non-existent. Let's go over the next one, shall we? And now we move to the middle of the list with Miqo'tes. What? The unofficial poster race of FF14 is only in the middle of the list? What the fuck kind of heresy is this? Allow me to explain. Catgirls are great for a lot of reasons. Cute ears, fluffy tails, adorable emotes, head scratches, and need I mention that they're catgirls? You know, the good kind, not the ones that will have the SPCA knocking on my doorstep. And plus, they're one of the most ubiquitous races in Final Fantasy XIV, and if you were in the world of Eorzea, you would have no trouble finding a catgirl GF, but there's just one flaw, one fatal flaw that leaves them in mid-tier. You never know how many female Miqo'tes are actually girls in real life. Next, we're going with Hewer. It's funny, isn't it? In a genre of games where playing a human is considered boring or bland, they're actually pretty rare in FF14. I mean, in a game where everybody is either a cat, a bunny, a lizard, a draft, or the average Reaper main, they definitely know how to stand out. That being said, dating a Hewer in real life would also be a lot like dating somebody in real life. And so if you're looking for a unique dating experience when it comes to a partner, you may want to avoid Hewer, especially with female midlanders with that damn running animation. But why are they so high on this list? One answer. Highlanders. I just love how their emotes and expression are full of the exaggerated swagger of an Alamegan refugee. It just gives me goosebumps. Yes, I wrote this script last year. Leave me alone. At number 2, we have Viera. Viera are undoubtedly one of the best additions brought to FF14. Female Viera, at least. More onto that later, but let me explain why. So, Viera, if you don't know, are based off of the bunny-like humans of the same name in the evilly Final Fantasy games, giving longtime fans of the series their long-awaited wish to play as one of those long-eared beauties in Final Fantasy XIV. They look amazing in gear sets, and they have nice, albeit limited customization options. But you know, they could have had more to begin with, but it was seemingly easier to make a new race entirely rather than expanding the customization options. And as for dating aspects, they're sweet, elegant, cool, and tall for days. You guys are probably gonna guess what number one's gonna be, considering how much I bring that up, huh? And what's great is if you're on the shorter side, like me, who is the diminutive height of 5'9½", you will probably have less trouble since the male Viera are also manlets. So naturally, female Viera are a lot more open-minded about someone shorter than them, giving us diminutive kings a sliver of hope. But the reason why they're only second on the list of dateability is that due to their limited customization options, you can't do the most intimate thing people can do. Try on stupid hats together, because Viera can't wear headgear. So sadly, they're number 2. And so like I mentioned, you would probably be able to guess what's number 1 based on how I put the list together. And so who's number 1, you might ask? You guessed it. The Amalja. No, I'm just kidding, it's Rogadin. What can I say about these Amazons? Tall, muscular, thick, dommy, mommy! They look like the type of girls who will absolutely show you who's boss and kick your ass, while also caring for you by being sweet, affectionate, and helping you speak to the manager at McDonald's who got your order wrong even though you asked for no pickles. And unlike Viera, you can wear weird hats with them too, so what more could you ask for a girl in mine? However, it can get a little bit tiring when you're forced to watch them type out a 2,000-word essay about how femros are more oppressed than gamers when anybody makes a slight joke about femros. Or, you know, basically because there's no femro characters in the game story. You know, alive. Okay, you know what? I take it back. Number 1 is Hewer because they're the only ones that are actually real. But that being said, in the land of Eorzea, dating in the real world is an even bigger pain in the ass. And it turns out standing around in large cities, whispering to people about their clothes doesn't really work well in real life for some reason. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this lovely video fueled by romance and not at all loneliness. Stay tuned for my next video about where I do my first ever cooking video where we will be making Grahatia's burger, and how Garlemald is secretly an allegory for iPhones slowing down older phones when the new one comes out. Peace out, y'all. God, I'm so lonely.